Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly astrology and pick a card reading for 5th of April to the 11th of April 2021. And just a quick thing before I get into the astrology and then the pick a card reading, I just want to let everyone know if you'd like to book a reading, of course go to the link below. And the general turnaround time for most video readings is around 8 to 15 business days at the moment. 15 or 16 business days. If you want to book a live Zoom session with me, a live reading, there's a 30-minute option or a 1-hour option, and the turnaround time for that is much faster. I can book you in between 2 or 3 to 6 or 7 business days. And there are urgent readings which are on voice chat on Instagram or Facebook typing chat. There's different options, WhatsApp as well. So have a look at my online store. Also, if you're interested in gemstone jewelry, I have my own shop where I create my own gemstone jewelry, and the link is also below there. So there's a few changes this week which are, I think, interesting. First off, today, it's Monday here in Australia. It'll be Sunday if you're in the US. And I know there's people watching from different places, but those are the main time. Well, the US, I have a lot of clients in the US, so that's always in my head. But it's basically from today, Mercury, the planet of communication, moves into the sign of Aries. So this will speed up communication, and it can make or bring about a sensation or a feeling that we want to cut to the chase with a lot of things and get things done quickly. So with Aries energy, there's always this impatience, like I need this now, I want to do this now, I feel restless, very fiery energy. Obviously it's a fire sign, so if you're an Aries, you know what that's like, you know what I'm talking about. And if you are an Aries, this is going to speed up your communications, your energy a lot. It could make you feel a little bit more of a tendency to overthink and be very much more in your head and want to communicate more. And with communications with others, especially in relationships, this is for everybody, but obviously especially Aries, you may feel more impatient with people, like you just want to kind of push forward with communications a bit more strongly. And this energy of Mercury in Aries is active till 20th of April, and then after that Mercury goes into Taurus, which is a much slower energy. So yeah, a few more things with Mercury in Aries. This energy can be very impatient when it comes to things like road rage, so do watch out for that, especially because we have Mars in Gemini still. So it's a very hypersensitive, hyper restless and very quick to react sort of energy that we've got going on at the moment. And Mercury obviously rules day-to-day communications, short trips and encounters. When you're running errands, this Mercury in Aries energy is going to be more prominent, so you're going to feel a bit more impatient most likely, especially if you've, as I said, got Aries in your chart or you have other fire energy. So just want to see what else we've got going on. So as I said, that's active till the 20th of April, so that Mercury in Aries placement. The good thing about Mercury in Aries, I'll just add, is that it can help us to, if there's things that you've been procrastinating on, it can really help us to push forward and go, okay, I'm just going to tackle this. I'm just going to get this done. If there's something that you've been meaning to do, but you haven't had the chance to do, with this time period from now till April 20th is a great time to get stuff done that you've been putting on the back burner, or that is in the back of your mind. So yeah, it's a good energy for completing things, for starting new projects, because it is also an early sign. It's the first sign of the zodiac, so it's a good energy for starting new projects. New communications, all that sort of stuff. There's a lot with it, but those are the main things that I just want to touch on. And just one last thing, if you have kids, or if like in Australia we've got school holidays now for our kids, so really with Mercury in Aries, kids are going to get bored if they're inside too much. So I know with my child it's like that at the moment. We're trying to fit in activities around my work, and it's always like that, but it's extra kind of edgy at the moment. The boredom factor is like, I'm bored, so if you've got kids and you're at home with little ones, you know what that's like, and it's going to be more of a prominent theme if you've got kids that could be feeling very much more impulsive, more energetic, and a bit more demanding. So just be aware of that. Okay, moving on. So the next thing that I mentioned last week is that this week, from Wednesday to Sunday, we do have Mars square Neptune transit in the sky. So this is in mutable signs. So if you have anything in Gemini, Pisces, or Sagittarius or Virgo, this could affect you more. So this is a bit of a confusing energy in terms of moving forward, okay? So as I said, if you've got Gemini, Pisces, Virgo, what was the other one I mentioned? Sagittarius. If you've got any of those signs, those immutable signs, and I'll tell you what degrees to look out for. So It is around 21 degrees, so that's going to be more active this week, as I said, from later on in the week, really from Wednesday to Sunday you're going to be feeling this. So if you're any of those signs that I mentioned, and if you know your chart, you have anything around, say, 19 to 23 of a mutable sign, you're not going to have much clarity this week on a direction. There may be other things going on that you do feel clear about, but there may be something that's bothering you that you're like, I really don't know what's happening in this situation. I'm having trouble making a decision about something, because Mercury in Gemini is duality, being in two minds. So really this energy clears up more so next week, and so you may feel better next week. So I would say if you have those placements that I mentioned, those mutable signs around those degrees, you may, if you feel confused this week on a decision, hold off until you get a bit more clarity, possibly next week, okay? And so that's if something's really pressing that you have to make a decision on, okay? All right, so the other stuff going on, Friday to Saturday, Mercury in Aries, as I mentioned, is actually going to conjunct with Chiron in Aries, Friday to Saturday. So this is going to affect people that have anything in particular around early of Aries. I'll just tell you what degrees. So I'm just looking at it right now on my ephemeris. So it's around 9 degrees. So, and that's going to be Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Friday, Saturday mostly. So if you are in Aries and you have anything around 9 degrees, or if you have Mercury in Aries, around 9 degrees roughly. If you have Mars or Venus in Aries, this weekend is not the best energy for like really pushing with something, unless you feel really intuitively guided to do that. Because on the positive side, it could, your honest communication with somebody could facilitate a healing, though it may be difficult, may be wounding at first emotionally. It may be a difficult conversation that needs to be had. Now keep in mind, it's mostly for Aries, but it can also be for Capricorn, Libra or Cancer, because it's the cardinal signs in this case that are going to be affected from Friday to Saturday with that Mercury conjunct Chiron. Now, it can be a healing. It can be a realization, like having a conversation with someone brings up a deep realization about a wound that you have. This could also affect that generation, which is also my generation, of Pluto in Libra. So if you have Pluto in Libra around the 9 degrees, or let's see what else. Yeah, any of those signs around those degrees. It's a bit of a testing energy this weekend, okay? But something difficult may come up, something painful, but going through it can actually be healing, okay? So keep that in mind. And even if something is difficult, know that there's a healing aspect to it because of Chiron being involved here. Moving on the weekend, we have Sun in Aries, sextile with Mars. So there is something helpful over the weekend as well of, refocusing your energy and going, okay, well, I need to focus on this, and it's going to be beneficial to me to do some gardening, or to, go for a fitness walk, or go to the gym, or do something active, because with the Sun in Aries, sextile Mars in Gemini, there's energy here that needs to be used to feel, a sense of relief and release. So that's a good energy. If you feel uptight, the worst thing you can do on the weekend, this weekend coming up, is to just stay in your own head and just sit inside. I know certain places in the world, obviously COVID is still an issue. I know especially in the USA and in Ireland and in the UK and other places, but you can still do exercise. You can still channel your energy. You could do yoga inside. You could do something where you can just release some tension, put some music on and dance, or do something that's physical or creative as well, doing some art or doing some singing, something like that. Because this energy, even though it's a sextile, which is a positive angle, it's more of a gentle aspect. When you activate that energy, it can be quite fulfilling. So that's what I'd say with that. Now, Sunday, Venus squares Pluto. So there's a lot of tension in relationships and communications around relationships. Venus square Pluto on the weekend is a difficult one. It does bring some tension in love and relationship energy. So there's a bit of a funny energy this week where there's a sensitivity in the air. And as I said, some signs are going to feel it more than others, mostly the mutable and cardinal signs, okay? Which, as I said, I mentioned all those signs before. Those are the ones kind of in focus for some of the challenges. But, ultimately, even though there are challenges, with challenges come growth. So it could be a big week for a lot of spiritual growth and a lot of emotional growth for quite a number of people. Next week, I'll just touch on briefly, there is a new moon in Aries next week. So that's a great energy, a new beginning energy. It's like a fresh new start. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac and a new moon. It's like a double, you know, initiating energy, a new start. A great time to set intentions. This is next week. So that's on April 12th, the new moon in Aries. And then Venus actually moves into Taurus next week. So I'm looking forward to that as a Taurus myself. This is beautiful energy for the Taurians. So that's going to be on the 15th of April. So that's a really lovely energy for Taurus, for Capricorn and Virgo. Mostly Taurus though. So, and if you've got Venus in Taurus, it's coming up to your Venus return time from next week and the next few weeks onward, depending on your degree. So that's the energy, guys, with the astrology. So it will be a bit of an interesting week this week. I think there'll be some difficult but healing communications is what I'm seeing for a lot of people. All right, let's look at the cards. So I didn't write down. I usually write down my what signs I'm going to do first. So let's see. Mercury's going to Aries, so I might do the fire signs first. So I'll do Aries, Leo, and Sag first. Then I'll do Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, followed by Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and then air signs, which I don't usually do the air signs last, but I will do the air signs last, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Okay, so let's do the fire signs. Okay. So I've got 3 decks this week. I've got the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck here. I've got the Moonology cards, one of my favorite decks. And I've got the Cosmic Tarot, which I was drawn to today. So as I said, if you missed the beginning announcement, some people just watch the card reading. If you'd like to book a reading, go to the links below. If you'd like to purchase gemstone jewelry that I create, link below. All the links to my social media are below. Okay. Oh, something's jumping out already for the fire sign. So this is Aries, Leo, Sag. You guys have the first card is the 3 of Cups. That's a really nice card for this week. So there could be a reunion energy. There could be catching up with friends, people that you haven't seen for a while maybe, or social energy. Could be some indulgence there with the cups. I'm really drawn to that. So you could be like, someone might be having a bit of a party, or, you know, very strong social energy get-together. Someone you've not seen for a while, or people that you've been hanging out to catch up with. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is about friendship and groups. So very much an energy for the fire signs of connecting with friends. Could be communicating online. Could be like online groups as well. Something going your way this week with regards to either online groups or friendship, which is really nice. Let's see what else. Stay positive. Yeah. So you guys have really positive energy this week, fire signs. So try not to focus on negative things this week if possible. I know the fire signs in general, you know, like to focus on joy, positivity, you know, where the energy is flowing in a good way. So that's what your advice is this week. But there looks like there's some really positive energy with friends. Like this is a double message here of connecting with friends, connecting with your tribe, like-minded people, people that you feel more of a spiritual connection with and that you really have fun with, and you have good conversations and light-hearted energy. Don't be tempted to sort of gossip or focus on the negative though, fire signs. That's the energy that's coming through with the stay positive card. It's like, watch out for that indulgence in some gossip or something like that is what I'm saying, because that will drag the energy down, I feel. All right, let's look at the astro dice for the fire signs. You had the sun, and then that was so weird. The sun came up here, and then this one just knocked it into to show the planet Uranus. So that's interesting because the sun is connected with the sign of Leo, but Uranus is with Aquarius, and it's funny because Aquarius has come up here. So friendship, good feelings with friendship. The first house is also saying that with the sun in first house, your vitality could be quite good this week. You may actually benefit from, not all fire signs, some fire signs may be experiencing a healing this week that actually revitalizes you. So there might be some fire signs out there that are actually going for a healing, having a distance healing, having a healing session, doing some meditation that's healing, doing yoga, something like that that's physically renewing. And oh look, Aries came up. How about that? I only just saw that. Wow. So very interesting, because we have 2 representations of fire energy here. Aries and the sun, which rules Leo, and also the sun is actually exalted in Aries. So really strong energy for Aries in Leo. Doesn't mean the Sages are not mentioned, okay? It's just that those are coming up extra strong. And the first house comes through, which is actually the Aries house. So very strong energy of vitality, of renewed energy, of excitement as well. So for fire signs, there could be something new that is very exciting as well. That could be related to online, could be related to groups and friendships. like-minded people, joining a new group in some way, and it's saying for you to stay positive. So watch out for any negative self-talk, self-sabotage, or feeling like, oh, this might be too good to be true, or, you know, that kind of feeling. Obviously, trust your intuition always above everything, but it's saying with this new energy you've got going on, stay positive about it, because there's something really good in this for you. Okay, whatever's happening this week. Let's go to the earth signs now. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Fellow Taurus suns like myself, Virgo and Capricorn. Okay, what have you guys got going on this week? What have we got going on this week? This one's jumping up. The Hanged Man. Okay. Yes, something's a little bit stuck this week, apparently, according to that. Feeling a little bit of a delay around something, or uncertainty as well. Let's see what else comes through for the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The Hangman can be you're unsure about what direction to take with something. There's something here I can actually feel. It's this one, really strong. Emotions are running high. Supermoon. So there is something with the earth signs where you feel very strongly about something, but it's stuck or it's delayed, okay? That's what I'm getting here. Let's see what other messages come through from... What's an advice card for this situation? For the earth signs. This one's popping out. Which one is it? It's this one here. I feel it. Remember your worth. It's to do with relationships by the look of it, earth signs. Remember your worth. Yeah, that's a thing for sure with earth signs, especially Capricorn and Taurus. It's not that we don't know our worth. It's that sometimes we can be a bit too... what's the word? Maybe too forgiving sometimes, or too permissive of other people's issues, you know. It's like because, you know, also you think about the solar astrology, you know, Taurus on the first house, you've got Scorpio on your relationship sector, and Scorpio energy really on the relationship sector. I'm talking about the solar astrology here, which is like mainstream astrology. It's an energy where relationships get really complicated for Taurians, because you attract people that are like the opposite energy in some way. Whether you're attracting actual Scorpios or not, you could be, but it could be other energy where it's just like complicated relationships, people who are just not as straightforward as you, people that have complexity in their lives. And so sometimes you can be too, earth signs can be too patient, you know, just like either waiting to see something changes, or you know, earth signs can feel the love for another person so deeply, it's like deep in the earth, that you kind of how do I explain it? It's like you don't detach yourself when you're meant to, or you don't move on when you're meant to. You kind of hang about. Now, I'm not saying that you should be doing A, B, or C. I'm not saying that. I'm just kind of explaining the energy. And this is what I'm picking up on, because emotions running high with the Hanged Man and remember your worth very much shows me that there's a situation, and look, it's going to vary in degrees, and it might be completely different situations because these are general readings, but there's a situation where you're kind of waiting to see about something to do with a relationship, and looks like it's keeping you stuck. So let's see what some more advice is. I did ask for advice with this cut, so it says remember your worth. So know your worth. And what does that mean to know your worth? It's like love yourself. You know, it's a very abstract concept. How do I love myself? Well, you focus on you. You don't focus on other as much. And it doesn't mean that you're selfish, and it doesn't mean that you don't care. It just means that you refocus your energy on things that are very productive for your own life, that feel exciting for you. And you don't need that other person if they're not going to show up for you. You don't need that. It's like, let them, if they're coming into your life with positive energy and clarity, great. If they're not, well, you kind of have to detach a little bit instead of just waiting and waiting. That's the vibe I'm getting here. So it's good advice from the cards. I like that. Let's see what else comes through for advice for this situation. 11th house, Mars and Capricorn. So firstly, Mars and Capricorn is saying focus on your personal goals, focus on your aspirations, you know, the things that you want to achieve, and that's going to bring a lot of fulfillment. It's also saying focus on friendships and groups, because we had the 11th house, which is Aquarius. Where is it? 11th house popped up. So the 11th house is friends, groups, online connections, the public. You know, you might be dealing with the public for a business or for your work, or, you know, putting some communications out there or something creative out into the world. And so that's really good for you. Focus on your own ambitions. That's going to be where it's at for you, and it's going to help you detach from this energy, which looks a little bit toxic, to be honest, and it's going to help you focus on your worth again. So that's nice. I like that. ultimate message there for the earth signs. Okay, now moving on to the water signs. Okay, water signs. What have we got for water signs this week? Sorry, I'm just putting the cards back. Okay, so this is for Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What's going on with you guys this week? Whoa, jumping card. Oh, we have a man popping up here. So if you're a Cancer male, this could be you. But I'm feeling more so for the women that are watching. If you're a Cancer, this is a fiery male energy. So some kind of love interest, someone... Oh, I'm picking you another card for some reason, which I just unconsciously did. So obviously that was meant to come out. So you could be the Empress energy here, and it looks like a bit of a soul connection. Looks pretty nice, actually. Though the energies are interesting with the cards, that you kind of slightly have your backs to each other, just very slightly. But there is nevertheless a strong connection coming up here this week with somebody around you. Let's look at what the oh gosh, too many cards falling out here. The Moonology deck saying for Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What's the energy? Looks like a relationship. What's going on for the water signs? Okay, looks like that one wants to pop out. What does this say? The answers you need are coming. That's kind of funny. All right, I don't know why that made me laugh, but it's like the answers you need are coming, and it's Gemini moon. So Gemini energy, you know, it could be that you're in two minds about a relationship, or you're unsure about somebody around you. You know, it's like, is this a thing or is this not a thing? I don't know quite what's going on. In love here, could be that you're in two minds, or the other person's in two minds, or it goes back and forth, and it's kind of 1 minute you're like things are happening, another minute it's like it's not happening. All right, for some reason a lot of relationship energy this week. Make a decision. Well, that very much relates to the Gemini energy, because if you know anyone that's got Gemini, they are notoriously can find it difficult to make decisions or to come out of a duality in thinking, because the problem is they get stuck in their heads. They don't actually go to their intuition and trust it sometimes. And I'm not saying all Geminis do that, but it is a thing. Come on, Geminis, you know what I'm talking about. It's a thing. Okay, so yeah, this is some energy for you water signs. You guys might be dealing with someone that has Gemini energy. You might have a Gemini moon or Gemini Venus, or you know, something Gemini in your chart, right? And so there's this energy of duality and dual thinking around a relationship that comes up. It's like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? I don't really know what's going on. I don't know how I feel. You know, when you don't know how you feel, it's funny this is Lapis, because Lapis is about communication. So is this, but it's also about intuition. And that's the thing. If we're in our heads all the time, we can't trust our gut, because we're like overthinking everything. And obviously, granted, we need our brain to help us make decisions and be like, okay, well, if this situation's not good for me, I need to make a decision regardless of my feelings sometimes. But if I'm running away from things out of fear, but I really want to go towards it, well, then that's another issue. So there's a lot of things coming up with this. There feels like there's a lot of confusion. And if you've got Gemini energy this week could be a confusing week for you, but you may need to make a decision to bring clarity. And whether that decision is step back from a situation that's lacking clarity for you, or just and refocus, you know, rather than being so overly focused on this external situation. Do what feels right for you in your heart, rather than, you know, the external. And I just heard the word surrender. So for some of you, you may need to actually just surrender this week and just let the chips fall where they may and see what happens, because sometimes surrendering is the most powerful thing. Let's see what else the water signs have. Oh, okay, so second house of self-worth comes up, and also money earned. Libra, relationships. And speaking your mind in relationships can be as well. Mars comes up as well. So yeah, it could be decisions and action taken in regards to a love matter or relationship matter. I am hearing something, and this could be for a separate group of people watching this. Some other, you know, I don't know which water sign this is for, but for somebody or for several someones, this is you make a decision in a relationship or with regards to a relationship that helps you move forward. And I was also getting another separate message. Geez, a lot of messages are coming through. It's that Mercury in Aries. It's just like really fast energy. Okay, so for others, this energy is saying patience with a situation will help you get clarity, and then you'll be able to move forward. Probably more so next week is what I'm getting, possibly with the new moon in Aries coming up. Okay, so that was for the water signs. That was a lot. Okay. Okay, and lastly, this is for the air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It's all relationship related this week, which doesn't always happen. That's not sort of that typical, I don't think. I mean, I do get a relationship. I do get a lot of information about relationships, I feel, but this week it feels like it's all about that, mostly. Air signs. Queen of Cups. Talk about relationships. Relationship energy. Okay. So it looks like you're thinking about love. Oh my gosh, they're all just flying out. I'm going to take this one. Take time to breathe out. Yeah. All right. So, and I did see this card, so I'll just show you. Working through your fears. Okay. So air signs, yeah, take time to breathe out. You know, the air signs really need space in relationships to really think things through and like know how they're really feeling and thinking about something. If you feel like your life is just too busy and everything's in your face, as an air sign, it can be really hard to get clarity. So this is actually advising meditation and getting out in nature and going for walks if you can, taking time away from other people just to process your thoughts, you know, just to get clarity. Let's see what else you guys have. Amethyst. Trust your intuition. So funny. The previous reading showed in the water signs, showed the sign of Gemini, and I was just talking about this to the water sign group, that when you get too much in your own head, you need to come back to your instinct and your intuition, because when you get into your head too much, into your thoughts too much, and for some reason, well, the air signs, well, hello, you guys have that a lot, where it's like overthinking just keeps you in a rut, you know, like going back and forth, especially Geminis, Libras can do that too, even Aquarius can do that. But it's like saying, come back to your deeper intuition. What is your deeper intuition asking you to do or showing you, you know, with regards to a love situation? Because this energy shows me you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, air signs, and you need to trust your intuition at this time, because you are being guided regardless of what you think's going on. You're actually being guided, and you need to trust yourself as well. You need to trust your guides are actually working through you to help you move forward with something. And you know, it may not be just a relationship. It may be something for some people, for some air signs, to do with your own emotions about something personal going on in your life. You know, it could be your career. It could be something that you're sensing that needs to change. Let's get some more info for the air signs from the Astro Dice. Sagittarius, Mercury, interesting, and the 8th house. Wow. So this is about deep communication, but it can be about writing or public speaking. For some, it can be like, you know, the information that you put out to the public. If you're doing something like that, you want the information to be meaningful. You don't want to put things out there, you know, you may be feeling this way, that you don't want to put things out there that are just frivolous. You want to put things out there that are deeply inspirational to others. That's a message for someone else, possibly, that separate to the relationship stuff. But what I'm also getting here is stay positive with Mercury and Sagittarius, and have faith in your instinct is guiding you, like I said, just like the card's saying here. So yeah, that's pretty powerful messages. The 8th house also is about some fears possibly coming up for the air signs at the moment. Anxiety, fear. But you know, focusing on the positive things, you know, reframing your mind, realigning your thoughts to more positivity is actually going to help you a lot. You may feel that you need to listen to inspirational affirmations, or, you know, cancel out negative thinking with positive thinking. Meditate, look at some spiritual text, remember your spiritual side and refocus on that if you feel a bit lost or if you feel a bit anxious. Watch some comedies. Mercury and Sagittarius could be watch some comedies and lighten your vibration. That laughter is like the best medicine, you know. It's very healing. So a lot of messages there came through this week. There's a bit of a heavy energy, I have to say, with the air signs here. I don't know if I'm just picking up on a couple of people, but I do feel a heaviness. You did get the 8th house on the dice, so the 8th house is a very heavy house. You know, you guys could be having a lot of emotion coming up at the moment. So, but trust your intuition. You're going through some kind of passage this week that might feel a little bit intense. So those are the messages, guys. Hope you enjoyed the reading. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and go to the links below if you'd like to book a reading for yourself. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week all. Bye for now.